everyone, this is a quick and dirty tutorial for the timeline assignment just to show you the logistics of where to upload your completed work. So what I'm going to do then is scroll down here to the timeline tab in the course content menu. That's right here. Click here. This is where you can access everything that you will need for the class timeline assignment. So you'll notice that what we have here is a link to the course timeline in Tiki-Taki, a link to the assignment instructions, the longer timeline tutorial video, which if you haven't checked that out, please do if you have questions. And then down here, these are the submission links that you'll use to submit your document for each unit's timeline posts. So you'll need to submit a separate document for the ID step and for the connection step during each unit. What I'm going to do is open the timeline at tikitaki.com to show you a couple things about that. So you'll notice it's in a new tab. I'm going to go back to the original tab. I'm also going to have the timeline assignment instructions open as we go through some of this here. So the pertinent information that you'll need to log on to Tiki-Taki is right here in the timeline instructions. Also, if you scroll down to the instructions about the ID step, there's a link right here to an example that I created to show you, what we're doing here. I'm going to use this example again as I work on Tiki-Taki, even though I've already posted it to the first, or it was the first post on the timeline. So I have all this ready to go. So what you're going to want to do then, when you first, let's see, where did Tiki-Taki go? There we go. When you first log on to Tiki-Taki, the very first thing you want to do is either click Continue or X out of this box. You want to log in. So click the login box and use the credentials that were provided. I already have them in my browser, that were provided in the timeline instructions. Then you want to scroll down just a little bit to this My Timeline section and click on New Mexico History. Once you've done that, you'll have this help box, these help items that pop up. You'll also have access to the admin information. This is what you'll use to post to Tiki-Taki. If you don't need the help information, you can click this little button right there and turn it off. To add something new to the timeline, and again, make sure you go through and kind of scroll around and make sure that someone else hasn't already posted the topic that you want to do. Once you've done that, click Create New Story. And then you want to put the title of the person, place, event that you are choosing to work on. I'm going to do Pancho Villa's raid on Columbus this time around, because that's from a future unit, and I know it hasn't been done yet. So I type that in the title box. Then in the Enter Info Story, I'm going to highlight that and just type my name over it. This is an event. There are some categories here that you can use. And so I'm going to click, actually before I do that, I need to place it on the timeline. So I need it to not be on 9500 BC. So I click this little calendar icon. I change to AD, and then I can just highlight this. I know that it was in 1916. Type that in. And I know that it was on March 9th. So I click March 9th, 1916, AD, I check all of that. If you have a topic that doesn't have a specific date, you still have to click something on the calendar. So you could just choose January 1st, even if it's just during the year or something. Sometimes when we're talking about themes or bigger ideas, that will happen. So once you've done all that, click Confirm, and you'll notice that it's changed here in your editor box. Make sure that your information has changed. Once you've done all that, click Save. I'm going to hide the admin tools for a second, and I'm going to scroll to the very end of the timeline. And here is my placeholder for my work on the timeline. So I wanted to do that first so that I make sure no one else takes my topic. Then I'm going to go do all the work. And that's what I have here in the timeline example. I'm not going to do another one on Pancho Villa's raid on Columbus this morning, just for the sake of showing you how to do all of this, but I'm going to use the information from my Bering Strait land bridge example again. So to enter your outside source into the timeline, you just copy that, go back to the timeline. You'll want to open the editor. If you're coming back to it from not having worked on it for a little while, you're going to have to scroll through the list and then click on your topic, to edit your topic. Then you go to link down here, and you paste that in, click save. I'm also wanting to add my video. Remember, you have to use add either a video or an image. So I'm going to click media and then add new media. I'm going to go back to the document that I'm working from, and I'm going to copy the URL for my video, go to the timeline, and paste it in the source line. Then I'm going to change that to video because I know this is a video. I'm going to click save. If for some reason your image or video doesn't work, make sure that you've grabbed the correct URL. If you're doing an image rather than a video, you need to right-click on the image itself. You can't just use the URL for the whole website. Sometimes there are just images that don't work with Tiki-Taki. If that's the case, please go back and find one that does. Alright, so I have my image, my link, all in there. To add the actual post, I'm going to go to Extra Info. I'm going to go back to my document, and I've already written all of this out. I followed the instructions for putting the definition of what the event is in my own terms, or in my own words, I should say, and I've written something that explains specifically its historical significance. So I'm just going to copy that and go back over here, and in the extra info box, or extra info section, I should say, using the full text box, I'm going to paste it right in there, and then click save. So now I'm done. I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to look at my entry. You just click more to do that. And here it is. I have all of the information that I typed. If I click find out more, that will open my outside source here. So I just checking, make sure that works. Close it now that I know it does. I can play my video. I'm not going to make you watch that for the sake of time. There it is. To do the connection step, I'm going to go through and see if someone else's post connects to mine. There isn't one that does because I'm doing a future topic, but you might find that there are situations where there's not really a topic that connects to yours, so it's fine to choose something that hasn't been posted to the timeline. You want to type that up in a separate Word document or similar, and then you want to paste it to your own entry on Tiki-Taki, not to someone else's. So, for example, I was connecting to the Chimayo Rebellion. I would paste it to my ID step at the bottom. So I just go, I'd go back in over here to edit. I would go to extra info, I'd scroll all the way down and write connection. And then I would paste that paragraph there and click save. So you do that on your own, not on someone else's. Going back over here, so that's how you post everything to the timeline. Here in the timeline tab, you want to scroll down to the appropriate unit, click on Unit Timeline Submissions, and then you just, for your ID step, scroll down and you browse your computer and upload the document that you were working on for that particular step. I'm going to cancel that because all you do is choose the appropriate file and click Submit. When you get to the connection step, you have to use this table of contents here. Click Timeline Connection Step. You have to click OK to leave the ID step. And then you just do the same thing. Browse and click Submit. This isn't that much shorter than the longer version, but it's somewhat shorter, so hopefully this is helpful. Please ask any questions that you have, and we'll keep working on our timelines.